Okay, so why do people like me still work for nonprofits despite the two major challenges that I just mentioned in this screen before this? And also, when you work for nonprofits, you actually get paid less than when you work for a corporation. Because again, one of nonprofits' major challenges is funding. So a lot of nonprofits usually don't have as much money as corporations do. So again, the question, why work for nonprofits then? Simple, straight answer is passion. Those of us who do work for nonprofits, we're driven by our passion and our desire to fulfill our lives with non-monetary happiness. I am, for one, a strong believer that you can't buy happiness. You can have a lot of money, you can have as much money in the world, but if you're not happy, then the money doesn't really do anything for you, at least not in a permanent way, right? Money gives you temporary happiness. That's what I truly believe. And again, if you watch my episode 1, I did work in corporations for 10 years. And when I work in finance and accounting for 10 years, I was able to live comfortably. I did make good money. I actually got to a point where I did make 6-digit salary, but I wasn't happy. And so that's when I realized that, money doesn't buy your happiness, or my happiness at least. Now, I know that not everyone can just quit their corporate job and start a nonprofit or start working for a nonprofit because they need the finances. They need the financial support that they get from their corporate salaries. Everyone has a different, lifestyle, has different financial needs. And I was in that position once where, I felt like I couldn't just quit my corporate job and go and immerse myself completely in nonprofit. I was in that position before because I felt like I needed the money to finance my life and to finance my hobbies. So I know what that feels like. So, but usually those people volunteer their time for a nonprofit outside of work. I also know people who have always worked in nonprofit. They never worked for corporations before, just always, their career has always been in nonprofits. And honestly, for those people, I actually really look up to them because now knowing what a hustle the nonprofit life is, and they're so passionate about whatever cause that they're working in, whether that's social justice or education for the poor or poverty alleviation or animal rescue. I'm not saying that corporate life isn't a struggle either. Corporate life is also a struggle with work-life balance, with, getting promoted, like going after that promotion, going after more money and more power. That's a struggle because, again, I've been there, and there are people who continue in that path, and that's okay. We still need people like that. There is a third type of business that is called social business. And social business is basically a for-profit organization or for-profit business with a social mission. So, like an example that I can think of the top of my head is iHeartDog.com. I think that's considered a social business because they do sell like dog stuff, like dog supplies, dog merchandises, or even like t-shirts for like the humans, for like the dog moms and dog dads and stuff like that. So they do sell merchandise for profit, but they then donate a percentage of their profit, or maybe even all of them, to animal rescue organizations and animal shelters. So that's another area that is now getting more and more popular. I think nonprofits and for-profits actually can work hand in hand. Neither one is higher than the other, or neither one is lower than the other. It's just two different way of life. And also, I want to add that other founders of nonprofit organizations that I've known, working or founding a nonprofit organization, they consider that their calling. They feel like they have a calling in that cause. So for me, animal rescue is my calling. I've always loved animals. I mean, a lot of people have always loved animals, but they don't always found an animal rescue organization, right? But I've always loved animals, and I really want to help them. And I also love